everyone. What if I told you that the Kipper cards aren't just cards? They're actors in a story waiting for you to become the director. Today, I'm going to show you why Kipper cards are one of the easiest systems to read. Once you stop memorizing meanings and start watching the characters interact. Welcome, I'm Michelle, the Mystic Channeler, and today we're going to learn one of the most exciting parts of reading Kipper cards, how they naturally tell a story. If you watched my Lenormand lesson, you'll notice some similarities, but Kipper has its own personality. Instead of simply connecting symbols together, Kipper introduces people, situations, emotions, and events that unfold almost like scenes in a movie. So today you're going to learn to stop memorizing those keywords and begin seeing scenes, and you'll be able to read several cards together as one flowing story. All right, so shall we get started? I am excited to show you how to do this. Now, whenever you look at the Kipper cards, you'll notice there's not as many symbols as like Lenormand cards. And yes, if you master knowing how to read Lenormand cards, you'll also be able to switch that talent into being Kipper cards. And you'll notice what the difference is after this video today. All right, so whenever you look at the Kipper cards, we do have people. There are so many people cards. I absolutely love it. It's almost like you're making a soap opera, and making a little story for this person because again, everybody has their own story to tell and lots of drama in everybody's lives. It just makes it very exciting, should I say. So for the key cards, of course, we have the main female, the main male, the main female, the mature man who knows lots of things, the mature woman, in other words, the senior citizens that are very wise. Then we have that false person that we're not sure of, the privileged lady, the wealthy man, the child, and the official person who is an army and the military, has that kind of charisma about them. So this pretty much takes over a story, all of these characters together. And it just to me, it makes the reading so much more enriched. So another thing that Kipper Cards does is has particular events and situations. So this helps tell the story. So there's a marriage, a meeting, a pleasant letter that somebody may receive. A change is happening. Those doors are just opening. A journey, sudden wealth, success in love, or maybe an occupation. Now, whenever I go through these slides, your Kipper cards may have a different verbiage at the very bottom. It depends on what Kipper cards you have. Look at the number at the very top. So that should help you. So if marriage is something different on your card, then look at the number 3 card. And it's the same meaning and everything, but the verbiage may be slightly different because these were cards that were created in Germany in the 1800s. So the verbiage has changed just a little bit through the years. It depends on your society and what country that you live in. So again, the verbiage may be a little bit different. All right, so let's go to the next slide. So here are some more events and situations that will help Kipper cards tell a story. Going to a funeral, the thievery, getting your things stolen, high honors, big luck, unexpected income, expectation, legal matters, or short illness. Now, as you learn these cards more and more, you may go, well, there's other situations that these Kipper cards can tell, but they're not in these categories. Well, good for you for getting to know your cards. So many of these cards can be in different places of these categories that I'm talking about. Okay, so these are attached to objects and places. So journey again. So you can go in different places wherever you're going on a journey, a pleasant letter, a gift, the house, the family room, and I've also seen it, the verbiage as a living room, the courthouse, the prison, a long road, hope, and then big water. Okay, big water. Actually, it should be combined. It's hope and big water. For some reason, the AI separated it out, and I just realized it. So 36 is both of those cards because there's only 36 in the deck. So the two cards on the end should be together, hope and big water. All right, so the Kipper cards also show emotions and challenges. So whenever you are near a false person, of course, that's going to give you a challenge, right? Betrayal, you might feel very betrayed. A child, oh my goodness, you have so many different, can have so many emotions around a child. Thoughts, the funeral, the thievery again, grief and sorrow, murky thoughts, and messages of concern. So these cards can bring up a lot of emotions once they almost vibrate. They give the cards those frequency of emotions because as humans we have lots of emotions involved. So what we're going to do next is I'm going to show you three cards. And of course with Kipper cards too, the women and the males, they have different positions that they are. So whenever you read it, it's very, very different. So for a female, and these cards are really nice because you can see the female is actually looking towards the cards, okay? And the female's the first card. So in this one, she's looking into the future. All right. So it's just like you normally would. If you have one main card, you usually have the future to the right, and then to the left, you have the past because that's what her back is turned to. A male will be a little bit different, and I will show you that in a few minutes. So right here, what we have is Kipper cards in action. I'm going to show you. So the main female, so she's the main character of the story. You can see that the second card is occupation, work, career, what she does on a daily basis, and then unexpected income. So it always helps me to kind of read it that way and then put it into a story. So one of the story examples could be a woman diligently in her chosen path receives an unexpected financial blessing as a result. So she's been working really hard and she will be receiving unexpected income in the future. So here is a male. Okay, so the main male is the main character. And so whenever you look at position, so where he is, okay, he's facing it. This is his future. And you can see it's just the opposite of what you normally do. So if he was the very first card of the series, then he would be looking at the past because he's looking this way, and the past he's turning his back to it. And some of the cards are very difficult because you have the man looking forward, but you've just got to remember in your mind that it's just the opposite for the for the male. So in this situation, in this story, okay, he is looking into the future. So there's a gift, a journey, and then him, the main male. So what this I want you to think about it for a few minutes. What you think this, you can even pause the video of what you think it is. But there is this male who in the future, he's creating a journey that he is going to go to. He's going on a trip somewhere. And on this trip, he is going to receive a gift, a surprise gift that he is not expecting. It will be the sunshine of his life once he receives this gift. So somebody is going to give him a present. Now, I don't know why this came to mind, but you could always say this, depending on, the question and who are you reading for? You could say, "Oh my goodness, you, okay, this is who I'm reading for, this male in front of me, a real person. You are going to go visit someone who has a gift for you." So you could read it that way. All right. So whenever you are reading Kipper cards, you want to ask, instead of asking, "What does this card mean?" say, "Who is this?" So many times, the person that you're reading for will have a question. And you can always start with a male card. So the main male could be him. Okay. So who is this? What are they doing? What is happening? What changes? Because what changes has been made because of the next card? And how does the final card complete the story? So if you think this way, it's almost like when you are sitting down. I remember being a fourth grade teacher and teaching writing and said, "Okay, I'm going to give you this prompt." And they would have questions that they had to answer as they wrote because it was the writing process. It's basically the same thing. So you are an author, you are the director. This shifts your brain from memorizing to observing. And it makes it more fun. I think it makes it a lot more fun because when you're just reading symbols, it's not as creative. You get that creative side. So here is again the main female, and she is looking again in the future. So the second card is the meeting or courtship, and then there's marriage. So if I'm reading for somebody, I could say, "You know what? You have an exciting future. You're going to meet somebody, y'all are going to be dating, and you're not going to be dating for very long." Okay. And then there's marriage. So this is a relationship that will actually turn into a marriage, a binding contract, which is marriage. All right. So this next one, I changed the mail up just a little bit to see how you look at the story. So I'm going to give you a few minutes to really look at it before I really tell you what the meaning behind this is. But there's a main male, there's a false person, and then there's a message. So pause this video if you need to. So look at, okay, so the main male is looking this way and his back is to the rest of the cards. So this is his past that we are looking at that has really created something presently that he's having to deal with. So this main male has received a message from a person that he can't really trust. He shouldn't have trusted it. But this message really impacted him at the present. And this is something that he's had to work on because this person betrayed him. And I don't know why the false person is always a female. Because you look at it, it can also be a male. So you may also point that out, even though it looks like a woman in your card deck. I know that my card deck has male and female. It has the female in the front and then a male in the back. So when you're reading these cards, think it could also be a male energy. So that's when you intuitively look more into the card to see, is this false person male or is it female? All right, so the differences between Lenormand and Kipper. So I just felt like this was important since we're looking at storytelling. So Lenormand does have keywords, objects, lots of objects, and not many character cards. And it's very direct. I mean it, you know, very direct and very fast messages. So if you're quick and you need to get a message out and the client really just wants a fast message, or you could actually do both readings at the same time. Now, the Kipper card is event based because it has scenes instead of objects. And it has many people in life events. So you bring in somebody's family, you may bring in somebody's friends that are impacting what's going on in their life at this time. And it has more detailed situations. So it may not have a quick message, but it will have detailed situations. So the Lenormand often tell us what is happening, but Kipper cards often show us who is involved and how the situation unfolds. And as I love to say, especially if you're watching a um, a show that is live, and oh my goodness, and or a soap opera, and you don't know what's going to be at the very end, and it keeps you hanging. Well, there's the Kipper cards. Okay, the Kipper cards will help you really dive into the energy more so than the Lenormand cards. So you could do both. You could do the Lenormand cards for a very quick reading, and then use the Kipper cards to really get deeper into what is going on with your client. So I hope that you enjoyed this. And remember to stop memorizing. It's always good to know what each card is. But stop memorizing, the meanings and being very strict. Get that creativity in there. And once you get the base of your cards, and again, every cards will have different verbiage at the very end, or on the card than what I just showed you. So it's really important to look at the numbers. All right, I hope that you enjoyed this and I hope you learned something, and really practice, practice, practice. And one way you can practice is listen to what is going on in the pop culture, the movie stars' lives, because a lot of times that's just false information anyway. And you can kind of start reading it that way and have a question for a pop star or something, or an actor, and practice reading that way and write down what you get to see if it actually happens. So again, happy Kipper card Lenormand. Wait, I'm sorry. Happy Kipper card reading, and have a fabulous day. Thank you, everybody.